This is Jean-Paul. I'm Roy's cousins, and we are going through the Man in the Mirror book. We're in chapter 5, and in previous videos, especially leadership videos, we've talked a little bit about goals and some different things like that.
Yep.
And this chapter brings kind of a really cool perspective to that.
Yeah.
And I think a much deeper, way more fulfilling perspective to that. So what's this one all about?
So this chapter talks about purpose, and in particular, it links it to, we talked recently about significance. Okay, so significance, when you dive into that, you find an answer to the question about who you are, right? And who we are in Christ is where we're supposed to find our identity. This is going to talk more about what we're to do, right? And there's some awesome some divisions that he makes, some distinguishing elements of goals versus purpose.
Yeah, I guess to say it differently, it's like, why are you here?
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of us like making goals. It's great to set that goal, work toward it, achieve it, booyah. That's success, right?
But then it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what?
Got to do the next thing, right? Got to find a bigger goal. Got to work harder.
So how do you contrast that to purpose?
Well, the goal would be what you are doing, but purpose is why you're doing it, right? So if God gives you a mission, right, then you can set goals that are going to help you achieve that mission. And the goals will come and go, but that purpose is going to continue to endure.
Yeah, that's cool. So I know in my own life, and you and I have talked about this so many times, I have 3 pretty much, assignments, I guess I could say. It's like, as I talk to God and say, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? It's pretty easily broken down. It's like, number 1 is this, number 2 is this, number 3 is this. And it really helps define a lot of what I'm doing, because oftentimes I'll get asked to do something, or I might get excited about doing, something, but does it really align with what I'm doing? And I know businesses will do that, where they will basically create a purpose statement. Because a good business, there's going to be no shortage of opportunities out there. And the big trick actually is to say, no, this is why we're here. This is what we're passionate about. This is how we make money. And this is what we're going to do. And we have a very specific, growth plan. We're not just, going to grab these different things.
Well, yeah, we've talked a number of times about how important it is to say no to things. And when we define our purpose, then we can look at the opportunities we have, and we know which goals or opportunities to say no to just as much as we know which ones to say yes to. Or if it's a hard thing to figure out, at least we have a measurement, right? We go, okay, which one is going to move us more toward our purpose?
Yeah. So we can run businesses really well, but do we take the time to actually run our lives well?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Which is, I think, why he recommends, hey, having a personal purpose statement.
That was
writing
powerful.
that down.
Yeah.
It's especially for myself, as somebody that's had a difficult time with decision making. Having that written statement, especially with the freedom to allow it to change if it needs to, but just having something to refer back to and go, am I going to say yes to this? Is it going to help me move toward that purpose?
So
powerful.
I love the difference between our eternal purpose versus, I think, our earthly purpose.
Yep.
Is that how he put it? Where he basically said, I think I'm going to summarize this and completely butcher it, so I apologize. But your eternal purpose is to enjoy God forever, to love God and enjoy Him forever.
Right.
And so if that's our eternal purpose, why are we still here?
Yeah, why doesn't he just kill us the moment we say yes?
Or beam us up, I think you said.
Yeah. Yep.
And so so whatever that reason is for you, as you're talking with God, that's what you need to drill down on.
Yeah.
And just like in business, it's not something that you just sit down for 10 minutes and you write it out and you're like, okay, I'm good. And this is a process of going, okay, I think this makes sense. And then, you think about it more over time and you go, you know what, that doesn't quite define, this aspect. So is there something that defines that better or whatever?
Yeah, the guy that started the network that my company is a part of, He kind of has a three-piece process that he uses for any kind of goal setting, or in this case, purpose setting, where you would, you think about it, come up with an idea, so you write that down, then you take action on it, right? And then you step back and you reassess. So then you can course correct. And it's a process. It's not necessarily going to happen the first time you sit down and write out three things.
Yeah. So I think in this section he's talking about different scriptures that what might help you align with your your purpose statement. And I know John 15 is totally one of mine. It's just, I think it's home for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I spent a lot of time in Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, that renewing your mind. And I'm always looking for tools to help people renew their minds.
Yeah. So what were the questions on this chapter?
Questions on this chapter. Number 1, what is the best part of achieving your goals? And what is the frustrating part of achieving goals? Because there is a frustrating part, right? Number 2 is, do you have a clear understanding of your life purpose? What is it? Are you satisfied with it? And how can the developing a written life purpose statement worksheet help you? Hence, more tools that he's put into the book to help us out. Read Psalm 32:8 and Philippians 2:13. Will God show us his purpose for our lives? And how do you think he will do so? Then he says, number 4, read Proverbs 16:9, 19:21, and 21:30. According to these verses, how is the outcome of our goals and plans determined? How should this influence our thinking? Number 5, does failure to reach your goals make you angry at God? Describe one major unmet goal. Why do you think God didn't grant your request? And number 6, the Apostle Paul had a remarkable sense of life purpose. Do you think you can have the same sense of mission, purpose, and destiny in your own life? Why or why not?
So a lot of these chapters, they really can stand alone.
Right.
And this is one of probably, 2 of my favorite chapters in this book. So I would suggest, even if you're not following in this book, get a hold of this book, get a hold of the audio book, and if you read nothing else, grab chapter 5.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Definitely. All right, guys. See you next time.